Yo, what up? It's your boy, When JJ Stone, aka O Doctor. Welcome to another episode of IQMZ Tech. It's Wednesday. We're doing the show on time. It's not live. You don't know any better, but if you're here, I appreciate you. But I'd like to give you a little bit of a heads up about this show. If you stumble across the show and you're new to the show, just know that we don't take technology very seriously. We don't take the news very seriously. Let me rephrase. We'll have guests on that take it very seriously. Ryan takes it way more seriously than I do. I could give a ham, hoot, or Annie about seriousness 90% of the time because most of it's frivolous stuff. So if you're new here and you get upset because I said that AI is like Skynet and at the same time it's going to save the universe, it's because it all means everything. It means nothing all at the same time. And it's not that big a deal. But if you can't laugh and have fun, this is not the technology, news, reporting, hard hitting journalist show for you. Again, when I have guests on, some of those guests are going to be really smart people that care about the subject matter at hand. I personally am just a regular guy in the regular streets using the regular tech stuff, and that's how I talk about it. So, welcome aboard. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And Ryan, haha, that's what everybody has the power.
Yeah.
See that? That's like it's all.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Hey, all the cooks in the kitchen cooking. So what's up to the people, Ryan?
What's up to the people? I take tech very seriously, especially technology around AI. I take it very seriously.
I mean, how seriously can you be taking your tech if you can't even get your camera to unblur the background?
I can't do it. I've been in the settings.
What kind of tech guy can't get the settings right on the blurred background? I'm just
look. We're all trying here. All right. It took me 2 months to get a microphone. It's taken me 2 months to get my camera right, and sometime in 2026, I'll have my stuff together.
Okay, all right? just checking. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus, but I mean I did push you there. So this week there's going to be other news, but the biggest news was WWDC. What would Dick Cheney do? And isn't that what it's called? What would Dick Cheney do? What would that's too many? There's too many letters.
WWDCD would be.
Yeah, I mean I tried my best. Like I said, not that serious. So WWDC 2024, and there's a whole bunch of new stuff popped off.
Yeah, we have a story about it. At the Worldwide Developers Conference, WWDC for short, 2024, Apple unveiled several significant updates and new features across its product lineup. The highlights include the introduction of iOS 18, which brings extensive enhancements to apps like Mail, Messages, and Photos, as well as new home screen customization options. The AI-powered, yes, we're talking about AI, the AI-powered Apple Intelligence and more advanced Siri were key announcements, with Siri receiving a major upgrade integrating ChatGPT-like capabilities. macOS 15, named Sequoia, was also revealed, featuring improvements in system settings and guess what? Enhanced AI capabilities. The Vision Pro is set to get its first major software update with Vision OS 2, including new apps and real-time captions. It's a lot of great stuff going on in the Appleverse.
So you can leave this page up, and let's just leave the page up. Let's just scroll down and go point by point through the points on this awesome page that The Verge has, because that's what The Verge does. So, first of all, Apple is absolutely insane with just trying to take credit and rebrand things to their liking. And saying Apple Intelligence over and over and over again for grandmas sitting somewhere in their basement are much happy to have a term for artificial intelligence to call it Apple Intelligence. And so calling it Apple Intelligence, AI, over and over and over again, not saying AI, but saying Apple Intelligence is such good marketing and bullshit that Apple does. And it makes me sick because it does what it's supposed to do. So as you said, they've implemented it. It's going to be implemented in the iPhone, the iPad, the Mac. That's great. You're going to be able to do all kinds of stuff that you could do with ChatGPT. And they say like or light ChatGPT because they obviously are running off of the open AI software. And it's one of the smartest things that they've done because they can't get Siri right. They can't get their own virtual assistant right. So why not just put a mask on that thing like everybody else does and give it to the users? And it's going to be free,
Free.
Ryan. Free. No,
Free if you buy an expensive Apple
no,
product.
no, no. You're already buying the phone. You're already there. So it's free. The cost of this AI, you're not going to buy an iPhone for the AI. You're already buying an iPhone. You're buying an iPhone because you're in the ecosystem, because you want Apple, whatever. You're
Right.
not buying it because of this. So it's technically a free add-on built in to the ecosystem. And that is huge for Apple because they have all this fun stuff. So let's scroll down to Siri gets a big ad boost. Siri
No.
is the trash panda of assistants. It is the worst assistant. It's worse than
There it
Bixby,
is.
and nobody even uses Bixby. Don't light up on my
Oh,
phone.
Bixby was horrible.
It was horrible. So I do give that caveat. But now with AI involved, it knows your contacts, it knows your calendar, it knows who you send a text message to. It's going to update your pictures and make them more vibrant, and it's going to create for you. And this is what we've always wanted. When I ask a question, I don't want Wolfenstein's dictionary. I wanted to open up web pages. I wanted to give me context and fluent information in real time. So then it goes down to Apple is building ChatGPT in this area. Yes, we're happy with that, right? All that information, new AI mail features, messages, photos, and more. Hey, when you say text my mom about the dinner that we had last week, it's going to know about what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Send a dinosaur emoji. It's going to be able to do that. Nobody's going to use half of these features, by the way. There's a lot of features I'm going to talk about that just are going to get lost in the wayside with most people. But you get down to the iPhone gets more customizing OS, and everybody and their mom who's been hacking their iPhone since the iPhone 1 came out are like, wow,
Mhm.
we finally get to make colored icons to match the desktop. Like watching OG veteran iPhone technical people wow about this makes me sick.
Yes.
Every Android phone, hacked iPhones have been doing this for over a decade. And Apple finally is like, you know what? Customize yourself away. There you go. Here you go. Like, oh, wow. That's cool. So that's nice. The big thing is the next thing on that list is iPhone is finally getting RCS support. Now, this is something we don't talk before the show. We don't do a pre-show.
No.
Do you know what the best part about this is?
Uh, the green bubbles going away?
The green bubbles will still be there. They'll still be green.
Ah,
Still
then
be
what's the
green.
point?
So you're still gonna be green. The thing about it that's so cool is that Google, who took forever to start bullying and fighting back, was like, you know what? We're gonna implement it and decode it on our end so that when somebody hits heart or like or whatever, we're going to put it inside of the text message for our users, for our Android users. But if you're an iPhone user, we're going to send them back the dreaded double text saying they hearted your comment and then
Ah,
rephrase the comment.
I hate
And
that.
by bullying Apple, Apple has finally accepted and said, look, fine. You want RCS? We're doing RCS because you're making our elegance look trashy. And if Google would have did this 5 years ago, we would have had this 5 years ago. But that's what it took to get Apple to finally bend the knee so that we all can just enjoy streamlined texting. Thank goodness. I don't know if it's going to work for photos. I don't know if photos are still going to do that weird decryption thing that happens when you send somebody a picture to a Samsung, but this alone is just worth the price of admission. Now, when you do the animations show up nice and clear, but you still will be green and blue. You're still gang affiliated. I apologize for that. Um, Apple TV Plus, I really don't care anything about that except for the new screensavers, which is cute, and the gameplay, which is kind of neat, and the closed caption. As dumb as it sounds, I don't like closed caption, but sometimes if I'm busy or I'm working on something and I miss it, I rewind it just so I can hear something again. Now on Apple TV, when you miss a moment and you just rewind back a second, it knows that you rewound just because you missed something and it puts up the closed caption for a brief time. That is
That
nice.
is useful. That is
That
very useful.
that is very useful. So I like that. Then we scroll down to passwords kept tracking your logins. LastPass is officially dead. Any other kind of software that you were paying for or using is kind of dying. If you're in the Mac ecosphere, they're just killing off different markets left and right. I think it's great because I'm a Mac user. So cool. I'm happy to have this for free. What do you think about that
I pay for one password, and because I'm cross
platform?
platform, this isn't such a big deal for me. But for my work computer, which is a Mac, this is probably going to be a huge deal if I can get IT to agree to let us use this.
Well, we'll talk about that because IT, I mean, you got to get past the Elons of the world. So IT is going to let
Oh, yeah, Elon Musk is really mad about the AI Siri.
yeah.
Very mad about that.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Let's scroll down. The iPad 18 adds a calculator app. For the love of Jiminy Christmas, everybody has downloaded a calculator app on your iPad. And now, this new calculator app, you can teach your children at home. You can finally do it. A lot of people don't do it because they have to worry about math and figuring out math problems and how to answer math. But now, with the new calculator app and an Apple Pencil, you too could be Albert Einstein. You could be the genius in your home. Where the heck was this? I mean, I got a photographic memory, so I always used to cheat in math. So I just remember something. If I saw the problem, I knew the answer was. But for someone who doesn't know how to answer the problems or show the work, this is amazing. This is awesome. This is special. This is going to save so many children from getting yelled at by their parents. And I know there's apps out there now where you can go and put in the equation to help you out. But if you could just sit there and scribble on an iPad and get the answers without asking anybody and do all the fun charts and graphs that they were showing, my goodness, this is one of the most exciting things from WWDC. Don't at me. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we have a calculator. Are you excited about the calculator?
I would be more excited if this wasn't something that has kind of existed for a long time in other apps. I think even on the Palm handspring visor that I had back in the early 2000s, there was a handwriting recognition and a calculator that you could work through this. It wasn't as elegant as this, obviously, but this is long overdue. They should have put this in at least 5 years ago, maybe
See,
10.
you're ruining the Apple magic of things.
I'm
Of when they
sorry.
finally do it, it means something. When they do it, it means something. I mean, other people have done it. I said that, but I mean, now
Yeah.
that Apple's done it, they've done it right. They've
Oh,
done it
yeah.
magically. It's got anulinium.
It's unapologetically plastic.
There, there you go. Um, so this, so iPhone loves doing certain things that will either enhance your relationship or ruin your relationship. Letting you mirror your phone on your computer with all the security you think that you have, now you got to worry about having the password on your computer. Because for
Mm.
some people, you go to sleep and you go check your boyfriend's phone, and you see, you see the little videos where girls would hold up the fingerprint and touch their finger to the phone while they're sleeping and get into the phone. Or like if you just have the password to their computer, now you can log into the phone from the computer and do everything on the phone. And if they're laying in bed sleeping, the phone doesn't light up, it doesn't activate, it doesn't show that anyone's in the phone. That is going to put a 5% bump in divorce rate. Okay.
Ooh.
That is going to have people sending some cash apps in the middle of the night to somebody they didn't mean to. That is part of the scary times. So be careful with your phone and your passwords.
I
They
could
are
see this having a very Ashley Madison hack type of effect on the marriage and divorce rates in our country for quite
so
a while.
so then on top of that, which is not in this article, I'm just going to run through the last couple of things real quick and then we can go on to the other stories. But you know what? If you want to record a phone call, now not only can you record it, it gives you a transcript and timestamps. So again, if you're having an argument with your wife or significant other, and they're like, I didn't say that, and they say, actually, 3 months ago on Tuesday at 3:45, you said, I'm not going to the golf foursome with my friends because I'm going to go to your mother's retreat with you. And then they can search the conversation and pull it up and put your own voice back to you in speakerphone. because it's all going to be searchable through Siri and AI, and you'll be able to find all of your conversations that you've recorded and stored on your phone. Scary times. Then, on top of that, now you can hide apps from ever even being seen. Do you know how many people in relationships right now where they find out that their significant other is on Tinder or Hinge or some other friend's dating site, and
Ooh.
they bury the app somewhere deep, but then they just pop up and they find it because they just type in Tinder or Hinge or Bumble. Now that's able to be hidden. So now your wife or husband can get away with sneaking around on that app. Oh, yeah. Pro tip for the people: when you are trying to cheat on your significant other and you use a profile picture, don't use a picture that your significant other knows. I saw something where the woman called her husband and said, I didn't make this account. And she said, well, I took this picture of you and you never posted this picture. So how did it get on your profile if somebody took your picture from somewhere else and put it in this profile? So I suggest you take an older photo of yourself that's on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, and use that when you're trying to sneak around and keep around. Because that way you can say, hey, this is open. And Facebook has said in their terms of service that anyone can use my likeness. I don't understand if Mark is out here cheating on his wife, but I did not make this profile. And this is a very common picture of me that's on all my social media. They could have got it from anywhere, honey. So just some pro tips if you're out there trying to cheat. I mean, red flags, green flags. But Apple is helping and hurting you in relationships left and right. So you got to read the terms of service. You got to read how these apps work. You got to read how these updates work and protect yourself at all times.
Now, one of those updates actually, I have a big problem with.
Which one?
I just received, after about a year of waiting, the Plod AI powered recording device.
What? You got one of those?
Yes. And I got it so that I could record phone calls with customer service and what have you. You know, if there was ever a legal problem, I could pull up the recording. It also has the ability to transcribe, thanks to AI or something, everything that it records. Now, the iPhone does that by default. I spent $100 on something that's obsolete in what? I think I've had it about 3 months. It's ridiculous. I'm mad about that.
I'd be mad too because I wanted that thing. Then I saw the wait time and I didn't buy it.
Yeah, well, I could send you this one, but you already have an iPhone, so you basically have one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't have an iPhone, so you need that, right? Because you're not going to go out and
do.
just buy a phone,
No,
expensive phone for these features, are you?
no.
You're going to do it. You're coming back.
It's like I said earlier. You got to buy the expensive device to get all these things. It's free, but it's not really free. You know, you still have to pay the Apple tax.
Well, I mean, it's not. I mean, you don't want to get out of the ecosystem, brother. Anybody
I
tell
did.
you?
I made that mistake.
The other stuff I don't care about. The Apple Watch stuff I don't care about. The spatial displays I think is absolute bullshit. There's a lot of different devices out now that are doing that, where they have like the little keyboard and you just use the headset for display. And maybe we'll get into that another time. But I really don't care about this system, and you know that I don't. So, do you think that looks cool to you? Does that mean anything to you? Does it add any value?
Not really.
Okay.
I know the Apple Vision thing that they showed off. MetaQuest 3 does that already. I had a similar experience with the MetaQuest 3. Granted, the Apple one probably does it way better, but yeah, it's not enough to make me go spend, $4,500 on a headset.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, that was a quick rundown of the stuff. Basically, the biggest thing is really the Apple Intelligence and all the things it's going to be able to do. A whole new world, a very different point of view. Your AI can tell you no or where to go. It's going to be great. I'm so excited.
I'm gonna go to the next story. Is that cool?
Appreciate you.
All right. Okay. At WWDC 2024, Apple Sherlocked several third-party apps, integrating their core functionalities directly in the operating system. Plot among them. But notable examples include new features in iOS 18 and macOS Sequoia that replicate capabilities of all trails and sticker drop. And it basically means that if you're paying for those things, you don't need to pay for them anymore. So those companies are they're 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 in jeopardy right now unless they can come up with some new way to outsmart Apple.
Custom emojis, custom maps, like the other things we already talked about, the transcribing, the recording, window tilting, window tilling on Mac. Like it's just like, come on, man. It's so many features, so many features. And they're eating a lot of people's lunch.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess you think about it this way, it's taken them sometimes 3 and 5 and 7 years to implement some of these things, and other people have gotten to eat off of the back of them delaying content and bringing things out and apps and features, because they could have done all this stuff years ago. They just chose not to. So sucks for them. Got to go invent new stuff. Got to reinvent the wheel, I guess, because Apple's coming to eat your lunch.
I guess so. Speaking of people going after Apple, Elon Musk. Elon Musk has threatened to ban Apple devices from his companies in response to Apple's integration of ChatGPT into its systems, as announced at WWDC 2024. Musk expressed concerns over the potential implications of Apple's AI advancements and their impact on his business. This move signifies Musk's ongoing apprehension towards AI developments and their integration into mainstream technology platforms.
So Elon is mad at OpenAI, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he's mad because he doesn't get to do what he wants to do with it, correct?
Correct.
And so, go ahead.
We actually have a story about that a little bit later, where well, you know what? I'll get into it right now. We can talk about both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is dropping his lawsuit against OpenAI and Sam Altman after the company shared his emails that basically countered his entire public narrative.
Oh.
So, yeah. There you go.
So, again, I rant about this all the time and I hate it, but Elon Musk is not Tony Stark. He is a banker. He's a kid with daddy's money who's bought a couple businesses and makes people think that he's one of the smartest people in the world. And he might be a great businessman and numbers man, but he is not a genius. He is not innovative. He is not a creator. He is a mega maniacal maniac. Or there's another term I'm trying to think of.
Megamaniacal?
Megamaniacal. It's not the term I'm thinking of. There's another word I'm using. I'm just throwing words together now. But he's just insane. I'll make it simpler for myself. So the things that he tries to portray and the image that he's portrayed is not who he actually is. He is a man baby with money and power, and he's getting exposed all the time. But there's so many zealots out here that think that he's Jesus walking on water in a techno suit. It's insane to watch how they fodder and just believe and hope and dream and everything he says. This man just wants what he wants for himself. And if he can get that away from anybody else having it, that's where he wants to get it done. So at the end of the day, Elon, I'm sorry, but now you're campaigning against Apple because Apple didn't buy Tesla also. So he's upset about that. He's like, oh, they didn't want to buy Tesla. Like, you're making way too many powerful enemies, and you being as powerful as you are isn't helping anything. My Twitter is now full of porn, which you couldn't fix because you fired everyone. So now you just said porn is legal. And I'm okay with porn. I love porn. Porn is great. We've talked about porn a couple times on this show. Porn is fine. It's necessary for the world. But I can't scroll 3-4 things now without just porn popping up. And now it's the worst kind of porn. Sometimes I just want to see a girl shaking her butt. And it's a honey trap for comments that have nothing to do with the girl shaking her butt. It's just bam, insta porn underneath of it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in public right now. I don't need this coming up in my stream. I didn't like anything. I didn't share anything. I don't follow any of these people. And now it's just sports, tech, porn, tech, sports, porn, tech, comedy. Like, so it's just out of control. And he has no control. And I feel sorry for Elon because you're going to ban the iPhone from your company. You think these people are going to have green bubbles running around here? you might lose some employees over their phones because people are zealots for Apple.
Yeah. Well, he's having trouble with employees right now. Actually, they're suing him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love the segues you're giving me today.
Hey,
Um,
who put these stories together?
I think you did.
Ah!
Um,
I don't take my job seriously, but sometimes it works out. Anywho,
sometimes.
next story.
Elon Musk SpaceX is facing a lawsuit and multiple allegations of sexual harassment and discrimination from former employees. A lawsuit claims that SpaceX executives discriminated against women, tolerated sexual harassment, and retaliated against employees who raised concerns. Additionally, SpaceX is under investigation by the U.S. National Labor Relations Board for unlawfully firing employees who criticize Musk's behavior and the company's handling of harassment complaints. Big surprise considering he has how many kids with employees that are on his board? 9.
9?
He has a lot of kids.
9
and
kids?
and I know that more than one of them is from people that basically worked in his office.
Huh.
Yeah.
So it seems like, again, the man child with daddy money doesn't have enough game to wield power over his actual real companies or to score with the ladies. And it's really odd to me because when you're a billionaire, I would think that your cesspool of women that you could get. Sorry, ladies, I didn't mean to call you a cesspool. The school, the pool of women, the ocean, rather, the ocean of women, women and catch and find. I mean, give me 100,000. I'm already pulling chicks on the regular, and I'm not a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Give me 100,000 a month. I can show you how to swim, bro. Like, you got billions, and all you could do is con women at your job into having your baby, sexual harassment. And I do recall some brothers having issues working at his plant and nooses being hung in the Tesla factory. I mean, my goodness, you got the future and SpaceX and electronics, and we still in 1845 with people hanging nooses, and you're out here sexually assaulting women. What are we doing, Elon? Are you okay? Are you okay, Elon? Like, you just, it's just, oh,
They say absolute power corrupts absolutely, and I don't think he has a lot of people around him that say no.
Hey,
yeah.
Look, I know is this he be on the side of the Sith. If we were talking about the Force out here, you know what I'm saying? He'd be a Sith Lord. So yeah, Elon's got a lot of problems, but he's rich, so he'll pay and he'll go away.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to sponsor this show, we love Elon Musk.
We love, right? Tesla is what you buy on SpaceX, and yeah. So there you go. Next story.
We'll go to the next story here. All right. YouTube is testing a new tool that will allow creators to experiment with different video thumbnails to see which one performs best. The feature aims to help creators optimize their video presentation by selecting the most engaging thumbnail. The testing tool provides insights into viewer behavior and engagement, enabling data-driven decisions for better video performance.
I want this, but I hate making thumbnails as it is. I know how you're supposed to make thumbnails, but I also hate being that cheesy type of person. You wouldn't think so sometimes you watch some of the videos that I make, but I hate the whole
the reactions. Yes.
It's just, hey, if you're on audio, I just made a whole bunch of stupid faces so I can freeze frame them and put them on thumbnails, because that's what you need to do to get people to click, or you need to rage out or whatever. But this is cool. They've had this privately rolled out. It's been beta testing or whatever, so they roll out to more people. It'd just be nice to, I guess, if you want to do A/B testing and find out what works for you. Cool. Yeah.
This is something corporations have been doing with their websites for long time.
Yeah,
very long time.
Exactly. But it's nice because I believe the way it works is you upload your 2 or 3 thumbnails, and they put 2 or 3 different ones in different places, and then whichever one performs better with the clicks, it tells you, and then you can either swap the other 2 out, and it uses the one that's getting more traction. So that is neat. That is cool. That is valuable.
We're going to see a lot more cleavage in our page feeds. I have a feeling that it's going to be cleavage all the way down.
Hooked on a feeling. I can't believe it. You're showing your boobs. Okay, next.
Right. Um, let's see. Raspberry Pi has successfully gone public with its shares experiencing a significant increase following the IPO. The company raised $40 million, which it plans to use for engineering products, improving its supply chain, and other corporate purposes. The IPO is valued. Has valued Raspberry Pi at around 500 million euros or 690 million US dollars. The major investors like ARM and Lansdowne Partners have contributed substantial amounts to support the company's future growth. I love this. I love this because I love Raspberry Pi and they are always sold out. So if they
So
can fix that supply chain, I am on board.
I sold maybe 12,000 Raspberry Pis. I used to have a great supplier, and as you said, that they dried up. Everything got crazy. The price went through the roof. I'm now selling Libre potatoes, and I'm running low on those. But people are buying them, and they hook them up so like that. But like I got like I'm looking at them right now. I've got like 3 or 4 Raspberry Pis that are just sitting in the box, and I refuse to sell them or use them in case I need them because you cannot get a hold of one at a decent price. Like I could sell these things that I paid $20 for like 200-300 bucks right now. That's how desperate people are for them, and it's just crazy. And again, the knockoff versions and the Libra potato things are fine. They're basically essentially the same thing. But it's just like, man, this is a great move for them. I'm like you said, hopefully supply chain gets back up and running and they're back out here on the market because they're just easier to work with. And there's more applications already pre-made for them. You don't have to do anything but search for what you want to do and boom, it's there.
Yeah, I love Raspberry Pi, especially like my kid. He's 7 years old. He wanted to learn coding. I set him up with a Raspberry Pi, a cheap monitor, and a Crayola keyboard, and he went to town on it. I didn't have to worry about the computer being destroyed because it was at the time $35 at the nearest Target, and now they're really expensive, and I'm a bit more careful with my Raspberry Pis.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, you can get. I probably got like 100 left of the Libres, so I'm still in business, but be nice to get that extra guapole going.
I didn't know you were an e-commerce magnet there,
Yeah,
Owen.
it's you know how it is. Nobody knows what I do for a living. I do everything and a lot of things, but I do miss my hustle. I still, like I said, I'm looking at a lot of little stuff sitting over there. But yeah, I got a nice little, like I said, my little arm, my little Libre's going, but it's not the same. Not the
I
same.
I know when eggs were really expensive, you were selling eggs for a little while.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, have you ever had duck eggs?
No.
My grocery store just got in some free range, all organic, GMO, whatever duck eggs. They only come in a 6 count, and I picked some up. I haven't made them yet, but I'm excited to see what duck eggs taste like. So I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna duck around and find out. Dad joke. I apologize. Next story.
All right. Microsoft has responded to backlash over its new Windows recall feature by making it opt in rather than enabled by default. The recall feature, which captures and indexes screenshots of user activity for AI based searches, raised significant privacy and security concerns. To address these issues, Microsoft added new security features, including encrypting the local database and requiring Windows Hello for authentication to view data.
So everything anymore sounds like it's gonna help you, but as I said, with the red flags with Apple, ruin a lot of relationships. That's what people are worried about with this. Uh, So you didn't send an email to my sister about trying to have her leave her husband to come hang out with me? I never sent that email. Okay, let me just rewind the computer real quick. So it's nice that they're putting in features and got gap stops and they're backtracking a little bit with the information because these are things I don't know how you sit around a table and you do R&D and no one says, "Hey, maybe we should find a way to lock this up so it's not just easily accessible on your computer." Because nowadays, most people, to be honest with you, talk about Apple with the passwords. Most people don't even put passwords on their computers anymore. There's so many people that I go over and fix their PCs, and you just hit enter. They don't have passwords in. Like my Mac, mine's on my fingerprint reader and all that kind of stuff. Like I still use a password, but like PCs anymore, it's like hit enter, you're in that bad boy. So you need something in there to protect people from themselves. So I'm glad that they realized the error of their ways, even though, again, with a multi-billion-dollar company, you would think that someone would sit there and raise their hand and say, hey, what about a little security for this?
Yeah. I think about all those families out there that have like one shared desktop computer that everyone uses. And, when everyone but one person has left the house, that one person is doing something on there you don't want everybody to know about. And I'm just thinking about how many instances where that is going to cause problems. Imagine you go and you're like, oh, I'm going to rewind and find out what my husband was surfing for the other day. No, don't do that.
Oh,
Don't.
don't forget we talk too much about porn, but what about the wife that's out here on Amazon shopping? Yeah, you're already trying to hide packages. Now they're trying to hide Pinterest boards and lists they made. Like, how did you spend $2,000 last month on what? And I'm just gonna go back on the computer, look at this shopping list, and be like, we needed designer hand towels for the bathroom that cost $57 a towel. Who made these towels? Queen Elizabeth? Like, no. So there's all kinds of little things. So it's just nice that they have adjusted and put in some safety precaution measures.
Yeah, should have done it from the start.
All
right. New York's legislature has passed a bill that bans social media platforms from using addictive recommendation algorithms to users under 18. The legislation, known as the Stop Addictive Feeds Exploitation or SAFE Act for kids, aims to mitigate the negative impacts of social media on children's mental health by requiring platforms to provide content in chronological order and allowing parents to block notifications during nighttime hours without consent.
This is a good thing.
I like it, but what is addictive algorithm? Like, who defines an addictive algorithm?
So, by defining addictive algorithm is cats. So, you look at cats. Next thing you know, cats. And you're just like, oh my God, I love looking at cat videos. Now it's going to be like, okay, you follow 42 people, you get 42 people's content in order. And if 3 of those people put up cat videos, cool. You want to follow more people with cat videos? Search cats, follow more people that post about cats, and you're going to get more cats. But I'm not going to service you cats 24/7, 365. You're not going to click on a sound and then me serve you that sound over and over and over again for the next 4 days till your 4-year-olds in the corner talk about, I've been a nasty girl. I've been a nasty girl. Like, so I'm just saying, if you could avoid that with chronological order instead of serving up, I've been a nasty girl. There's a video I posted on a story the other day. The girl's like 6 and she comes into her mom. She's like, why do I keep hearing this song, Mom? I'm looking for a man with fine ass, 6'5", blue eyes. And she's like, they're saying finance.
Yeah.
And the daughter's like shaking her butt and doing fine ass. And I'm just like, why are you looking for a guy with fine ass? I'm like, how many times has this kid listened to this song that she knows it because she's watching video after video after video? I'm looking for a guy in finance, 6'5", blue eyes. So that's where I think it would help for children to get them out of that loop of, oh, I thought this was funny. Let me serve it to you 42 more times to laugh at it.
I completely agree. Yeah,
you still have a youngling, so you need to.
I do, and he will latch on to the most annoying songs. I think he was listening to World's Smallest Violin, and that song, it got into his brain, and I heard nothing but that song out of him for like a month. And it's not exactly an appropriate song at his age. He just happened to hear it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So that's where I think it'll help. That'll be good.
Yep. More news?
Yeah. More news.
Where are we at? Is this the Intel story? Yep. Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger has criticized Nvidia's success on AI chips, attributing it to extraordinary luck rather than strategic planning. During the Computex show, Gelsinger highlighted Intel's new products aimed at reclaiming the market share and emphasized that AI wasn't initially a focus for NVIDIA's GPUs. He also mentioned that Intel's now canceled Larrabee project would or could have changed the AI landscape if it had continued. Boy, that sounds like sour grapes to me.
So we don't need to talk about this. This is definitely sour grapes. And as much as everyone is fighting for the Apple intelligence or the artificial intelligence or the analinium, it really comes down to the hardware. If you're looking to invest right now, I'm not giving you any advice. I'm just saying, instead of investing in these companies that are making AI off of open source and piggybacking off of things, the hardware that is fundamentally empowering all this stuff to go is only going to go up. And everyone wants their own chip, they want their own processor, they want their own power. And that's where the money is, because those are physical items that you're going to have to continue to buy to amplify and empower all of these other things. So this is only going to go up. Nvidia is far and ahead of everyone else. They are, they had the crypto boost.
Yeah.
They were already on the up, and now they just have rolled that over to the AI machining, and everybody else trying to catch up right now. Apple went and started with their M1 chips, and they've got a nice little stranglehold because they've got physical market share on all the iPads, the desktops, the studio. Like, they've carved out a place for their chip. Everyone else now is fighting for some kind of jockeying position to stay relevant and stay alive, because you can get left behind. So it's definitely sour grapes.
And Intel was very late to the game in making GPUs. Like, they had the integrated GPU features on their chips, but their GPUs that are standalone have only been out for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't basically, the way AI is created, it computes much better on a GPU than it does on a traditional, central processing unit. And of course, Nvidia is grabbing all that market share because AMD was having a really hard time keeping up with demand. Their stuff wasn't quite as good for many years, and you know what? Good for Nvidia. But Intel, you guys stopped innovating like 10 years ago. You need to suck it up.
And they kept raising the prices too.
Yeah.
While AMD was like giving everything away for free, they're like, more power, half the price, more power, half the price. Intel's like, double the price, same power. Is anybody listening? Is anyone listening? No? Cool. Double the price, same power. So they get what they get.
Yep.
Next.
Last story. Adobe's new terms of service have sparked significant controversy, allowing the company to access users' projects for training its AI systems without explicit consent. This move has been criticized for potentially violating user privacy, especially for professionals handling confidential or proprietary information. Now, uh, creators, designers, everyone on DeviantArt and all over the creative sphere have been complaining about AI stealing their work, chopping it up, and feeding it back to its users. And to actually have direct access to the user's stuff on the platform it's created on, oh, no wonder Adobe is in so much trouble right now.
I am an Adobe user. I am a paid Adobe user since the days of subscription. Since they went to subscription, they forced me to pay. I pay. And I pay every month. And I don't keep anything in the cloud except for some photos with Lightroom Cloud. But mostly I keep everything on my PC. I don't put anything in the cloud for a lot of reasons. But for things like this, wow, you have the audacity to charge 50, 60, $100 a month from creators who are doing things. Most of the people that are paying the full freight are professionals using your stuff to create things to make a living. And now you want to take ownership of those things. Imagine if I'm making something for ryanpearson.com and I design something and I create it and you pay me for it. And then you go out and 3 months later, you see it somewhere else. And you come back to me and say, yo, I paid you for this custom work. Why are you selling my work and repackaging it to someone else? And I say, what do you mean? Come to find out that Adobe has now sold my design, my creation to someone else. Now, I have to deal with my client directly because Adobe has claimed ownership because I paid them for a service and they stole that service and used my service for their service. What?
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane. I always play the game of dog is free. Shut up. When Facebook says they want to do something, you're not paying for Facebook. It is what it is. Get off Facebook. Don't put that on Facebook. Then you ain't paying for it. But for a service that I'm paying, and a lot of people are paying tooth and nail for, month after month after month, for you to have this in your terms of service and to try to sneak it in, and they've tried to backwalk it twice, you need to take it the fuck out. Because this is unacceptable. I'll go back to piracy. And I'm not even somebody who's doing anything spectacular. I'm just doing basic Becky stuff on mine. You know what I mean? I can get by. You know what I mean? I'm editing this podcast with 4 people watching. I appreciate all 4 of y'all. But I mean, when you're out there working with the megacorps and the fact that someone could come and just steal your work is absolutely insane. We're like, as you said, we're already dealing with so many artists being ripped off, copied, and duplicated with no credit, no payment, and it's free for all these other apps to use. It's just, that's not a good look, Adobe. It's actually embarrassing for you, and it makes me mad.
No, this is terrible. This is why I switched to Pixelmator Pro on Mac and Affinity on Windows. Is those 2 companies, you pay once, you've got that software forever. I love that model way more. And they're not selling all my stuff to everybody. Yeah. So
I might have to go back to I don't want to. I just used to doing what I'm doing, but I might have to do it. Might have to do it. That was a good show. That was quick.
that was cool.
Painless. We got a lot of stuff in. I just got to think of a name that doesn't offend Elon that much. In his cesspool, Elon's AI cesspool, WWD Elon cesspool, something like that, right?
Sounds good to me.
What a good thumbnail of Elon crying or something.
Oh, that would be funny.
That would be funny.
You should have AI generate it.
I should. I should. So if you made it this far, we appreciate you. Subscribe, hit the like button on YouTube, leave a comment, and leave a rating on iTunes and Spotify. That is back up this week. So the pod is back to being a full functional 100%. Next week, we will have a guest. I'm not going to tell you who the guest is, but it is someone who's smart. And as long as Ryan shows up on time and does what he's supposed to do, I will allow him to still be here. If he messes this up for me, I will cut him. But that's not for you. Well, I shouldn't say that, you guys, because you guys are now witnesses. So never mind. Ryan will be spoken to lightly if he messes this up, but he probably won't. He's going to do great. We're not worried about it. Trustworthy guy. Look at him. He knows what he's doing. Follow him on the Twitter. And like I said, subscribe to the show. We appreciate you being here. Anything you want to say to people, Ryan?
PCGazer.com. I'm going to start blogging about tech again there. So check that out. And IQMZ, our website's got to be coming up soon.
Yeah. IQMZ is up. It's good. Oh yeah. I got to get I want to start throwing the Discord out there. We're going to have a movie night. Where either if I'm not even in there, I'm just going to start running movies on a certain night so we can hop in there and talk about it. I'm just try and get the community together and start rolling. But yeah, we're going to be doing big things. Ryan, as long as you, like I said, you keep yourself together and keep it in line with your blurry background, if you could just pull it together.
Got to fix this.
Pull it together. So embarrassing. We are out. Good night.